About to go live, and we're live. Hi, everybody. Who is here? Some people in here already. Thomas, Namis, Nambent, and Miss Kelly T. How you guys doing? Happy to be here and catching up with you guys again. Hello, Mark Rogers. Hello, XRP589. Hello, Johan. Thanks for signing in, everybody. It's been a month. We had fun around the 4th of July, didn't we? Catching up on all things Mandela Effect. You guys see me in my videos, but it's fun to also see me live here chatting with you because we have fun. We have fun on those videos, don't we? Hi, Amy. What's happening, Amy Hyde? What's happening, Juggalo Madness Reviews? Giving you guys all shout outs. I never get to talk to you on my videos that just move so fast along. I'm going to give it 2 or 3 more minutes, see if more people get in here, and then we'll get going. But I want to let anybody who is running late come in. If you're here, please say hi in the chat. I will say hi in the chat too. Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. Bam. Okay. I'm doing great, Juggalo. I'm great as well. Okay. We are going to have fun on this Friday evening, chatting it up, doing some questions, talking about Mandela Effect. There's been some things I've come across that are kind of interesting that I'm going to mention. I'm glad you're able to watch too, Amy. Welcome to the fun. Welcome to the fun. Friday fun times. Friday fun times. So about another minute, and then we're going to get going. If you have any questions, feel free to post them. We will talk about them and lots of other things. Notice I'm in a different space. I'm in a different place. Imagine that. I was in Wisconsin on the last one. That was fun. I was like at a coffee shop. Trying to get more variety here for you guys. All right. At 5:03 West Coast time, we will start it up. You're from Illinois. Nice. That is great. Great to hear. No, I'm over at a friend's place. Just visiting a friend, and they're not here right now, so I am doing it from there. Mark Rogers said, you had a great evening. You went to Green Bay, Houston Texans game. That's great. That's fun. We don't see many sports Mandela effects, do we? There was the one around the Niners. We'll get going now. It's 5:03. There was one around the Niners Stadium, Levi's Stadium. That's a sports one. I have it in one of my videos. It's an older one, maybe 6 months ago. Yeah, the Levi's kind of freaked people out. Some people remember Mark McGuire's name spelled differently, but I do not, and I'm a St. Louis Cardinals fan. So it was always MCGWIRE. So people think it's with a U. Not in my reality. It was not. Yeah, Levi's is a big sports one, though. Anyway, welcome. Good to see you guys. Welcome to the live stream, which I've been doing monthly and trying to do more, but haven't done more. I wanted today to talk about, I want to talk about several things. First of all, I saw a video somebody posted about some theory. Hello, Mary Quinn. About some theory of that, like the Earth or universe ended in 2012. Did anybody else hear about that? Somebody thought it ended because of the Mayan calendar, that it ended at the end of 2012. I had not heard of that, but apparently they thought that that company in Europe, CERN, might have been involved in that. I don't know as much about CERN, but people speculate that they're involved with the Mandela Effect. I don't know one way or the other. I know one thing. You know what's one thing, which I did a video about this? The Simpsons is really freaking interesting. Like The Simpsons continues to predict not just lots of Mandela effects in The Simpsons, but like, 21 December 2012. Yeah, some people think the world ended in December 2012 and that we were all shifted into a different consciousness or a different universe. I don't know. It's strange. But yeah, you're right, Thomas. But yes, people think that or The Simpsons is really interesting, not just in their Mandela effects, but just their future and their predictions and everything about The Simpsons is crazy. How accurate it is. You think he's a time traveler? Well, something is going on because The Simpsons, you guys, is too on point. It's too on point. And it's, in fact, The Simpsons is predicting things that haven't happened yet. The Simpsons is predicting things that haven't happened yet. And one of those things, which I find interesting, is it talks about, or one thing is which I speculated in, that I think is going to be the future. And I tweet with this guy a lot, and I heard about him through another guy that I watch. But I believe that nuclear power is the future, Generation 4 nuclear. And that's not the old nuclear. That's not the Chernobyl nuclear. It's this new power, this new nuclear, which is, it actually can eat the waste off the old machines. And it's this whole new powerful way, energy future. And if you look at The Simpsons, so much of The Simpsons is around nuclear and how, you notice how there's all these like things falling apart with nuclear and it doesn't work in Springfield and they're having all these issues. Well, that's the old nuclear. Like The Simpsons is saying, like, the current nuclear doesn't work because it's so dangerous, but we need to look at this Generation 4 nuclear. And I think The Simpsons in 50 years, we're going to be like, wow, they predicted that too, because they were basically telling us that the old nuclear wasn't working with all these flaws and all the problems in The Simpsons they were having in nuclear, but it was also powered by nuclear. Springfield was. So in a way, Matt Groening's time traveling, which you said, which is fascinating. I don't know if to believe anything, but they could be predicting that we need to look at this Generation 4 nuclear. If you haven't looked at Generation 4 nuclear, look it up because it's fascinating. There's a guy on Twitter named Mark Schneider who talks about it, who does live casts every day. I heard about it through Scott Adams, who's the Dilbert cartoonist, but he talks about Generation 4 nuclear. And then he told everybody about Mark Schneider, who I tweet with. But you should check it out because I believe that's going to be the future of things. Okay, so let me get to some comments here. You believe Matt Groening's a time traveler. You've heard the same thing. 2012, the movie that came out in 2009 predicted it. Oh yeah, that's interesting. I remember that movie, Johan. The Mandela Effect is changing. Mandela Effect is changing, at least, where somebody is a time traveler from The Simpsons. Something's going on with The Simpsons. Like, it's just too. Another thing Scott Adams talked about this week. Watch Scott Adams if you don't, because I watch Scott Adams. I watch all his podcasts. He talked about how. He was talking about, well, he talks about Generation 4 nuclear, but then he was talking about, we've had the tragedies with the shootings. And he was talking about how you can't find the solution to something by looking at what the problem was. So to fix something like fixing the issue with guns and mental health and everything, we have to think outside the box. And he talked about how maybe somehow we can change the gun itself, to make it seem not as appealing to these people who take it. And his theory was like, make the gun, because they look in the person gets a gun and they look in the mirror and they feel all badass and everything, like, well, if we made the gun something that wasn't badass, like we made it bright pink, the gun was pink or something. He speculated that psychologically people wouldn't then be as prone to buy it or commit shootings because they wouldn't feel as badass, which is so fascinating. And there's this Simpsons when Homer gets a gun, and I tweeted with Scott Adams about this, where Marge has the gun and she looks in the mirror and she feels all badass. So they could be predicting how we fix the gun problem, literally right there. Like they're predicting it before it's happened. So Generation 4 nuclear and fixing the gun problem, both The Simpsons is speaking to us. I just find that fascinating. Check out, they're both in my Twitter feed, which is Jeff Pilkington. If you look at tweets and replies and you scroll down, I tweeted, I don't know, 3 days ago about the Marge Simpson one and the pink gun. I responded to Scott Adams. And then I also tweeted, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago about Generation 4 nuclear. And there was an article about how nuclear was failing and The Simpsons was showing it was failing. And yeah, they're showing the old nuclear failing as a power and hinting that we need to look at the new nuclear. So check those out if you haven't, because they're predicting it before it happens. Okay, time traveler or somebody who's time traveler from The Simpsons. It seems like it was a one-time event. Let's see. It seems like it was a one-time event, not many coming out. Well, there's still some ones here and there. Matt Groening from Simpsons is a Freemason and social engineer, not a time traveler. That's possible, Stonebender. Anything's possible. The creator of The Simpsons is probably the reincarnation of Nostradamus. That's funny. Maybe. Yeah, predictive programming. Most of the predictions can be explained, and there is a lot of Simpsons that has never happened. You guys. The Simpsons knows all. Yeah, Johan, it is interesting, isn't it? Family Guy also predicted the death of Robin Williams, the way he was going to pass away, and when he did it. That's interesting. Hello, Geoffrey Pilkington. Love your channel. Thank you. Mysteries and Conspiracies. That's very nice of you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know about Family Guy. I haven't heard about that. But I was looking at this video that came out today. I think it was on her name is Kendall Ray. She was talking about the world ending in 2012 and how, we could be in another universe. But she also talked about the Mandela Effect, Statue of Liberty one, where, have you guys all heard the different Statue of Liberty Mandela effects? There's one about people think that it's on Ellis Island and it's on Liberty Island, but people remember being on Ellis Island. That's one. People are like, can't believe it. And there's actually photos where it appears on Ellis Island, but it's never been on Ellis Island. It's always been on Liberty Island. So I don't know. There's photos of it on the other island. And here's something interesting. There's a Twitter account. This is strange, where you have Statue of Liberty, the Statue of Liberty Ellis Island Foundation. It's backwards because I'm holding it up, I think. And you have people walking up the stairs to nothing. So if you want to look at it, screenshot later, you can find it. That's the account. There's a Twitter account that has Statue of Liberty Ellis Island Foundation. That's pretty strange. And then also, they've been talking about how if you go to Google Maps Street Views, there's actually, on the walking view of Google Maps, part of the Statue of Liberty is actually missing. Look at that in these photos. That one, and then this one too. That is wild. And some shots on Google Maps. I mean, here's an old painting showing it on what looks like it was on Ellis Island, and now it's on Liberty Island. Yeah, that's just weird. And so that's the first one, on a different island. And then there's another rumor that the torch, some people remember going up in the torch, and there was the Black Tom explosion, which people don't remember happening. There was some Black Tom explosion, which caused them to close the torch, and the torch has been closed 100 years, but people have memories of going up in the torch. And this lady went online, Sharon Toji, and she talked about how she gave a review of when she was up in the Statue of Liberty. She said, I actually climbed up the torch. That's just bizarre. So there's memories. There's also pictures of people taking a photo on Ellis Island that looks like they're in front of the Statue of Liberty when it was there. But there's no Statue of Liberty. That's just wild. Anyway, the Statue of Liberty is a weird one. and I don't know what's going on with that. But let's see. Okay, so love the channel. Oh, thanks for subscribing. Yeah, I don't know about Illuminati. I don't know about any of that. Yeah, Statue of Liberty one is weird. It's on Ellis Island. Yeah, people remember it being on Ellis Island. Yeah, people remember going in the head of it. Cafe. Yeah, that's interesting. Bananas grow the wrong way. They grow up now. I saw that. I heard about that. Yeah, bananas are growing the wrong way. Cheech Marin, what's in the torch in the movie The Ghostbusters 2? Yeah, the Ghostbusters 2, they went in there. You know, maybe that's what people are remembering. I don't know. You've heard people remember a Liberty Island at all. I have heard people don't remember Liberty Island at all. Yeah, some people remember Ellis Island, Mark. It's strange. It's very, very strange. Did I see the Pillsbury Doughboy too with the blue scarf and the original Karate Kid? I posted on your Facebook page. I did see that post from you, Thomas. Yes. Sorry, I need to get better at checking Facebook. I see the notifications. But yeah, I did see that. It's so interesting, all the residual. There's been, various ones reported as new though. That oatmeal one I thought was interesting. Are other people going on though? Like, are people reporting? Like, is Moneybags? Who else? Brian McFarlane. Are those guys reporting new ones, or does it seem like it's slowed down? Like, what are you experiencing as far as, is there not as many as there used to be? I don't know. I've heard different opinions on them. I try to put more than one in my videos. Some people just put one. I try to give you guys like several, even if a couple I've said before. I like to update it so other people can see ones that they haven't seen. But I always try to get at least one new one in there, two new ones. The bananas growing up, I've heard of that one for sure. Have you guys heard of the six? The like sign of the devil was like 666, and it's now 616. Have you heard of that? Apparently, it's historically 616. I heard that that's one that people are now talking about. Lion prides have 2 or 3 or even 4 males leading the prides. That's interesting. Do you know they changed the rules of the game Uno? You remember the rules where you can put down a card, 2 card, if you have a card 2. Another rule where you keep picking up. I don't know enough about the rules of Uno to say for sure. But that could be one for sure. Yeah, the oatmeal guy looks young now. Yeah, if you Google it, it's 616. It's not 666 anymore. Historically, it's 616. That's like freaks me out. Like, there's still recent 666, but apparently it was 616. I don't remember it being 616. That's bizarre. 666 was always like the scary number, and they saying now is 616. Weird. You believe there are no new ones, just old ones that people find while chasing the dragon? It's possible, Stonebender. I don't doubt it. Anything's possible. Yeah, check out 616. Yeah, the number of the beast is 616 now. Maybe I'm breaking news now to you guys, but you can Google it, and that was the roots of it. It's 616. Strange. Let's see. Check out Starfort's. Check out Starfort's. The Statue of Liberty sits on a type of Starfort. I remember rectangle. Yeah, that's interesting, Remrek. I don't know. I don't know about that. Yeah, it's always been 666, 616. Yeah, it's weird. Why do you think some Mandela flip-flop? I have some theories about it. I think that I think there's a lot to it. I think there's a lot to it. Let's see. 6 is the number of the man, actually. Yeah. Born again was a strictly Christian. Now all kinds of religions talk about being reborn. Yeah, that's interesting. Guess what has 606 horror comics? Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know. I don't know for sure. Yeah. Also, the Spotify logo, that's another one. People remember Spotify going straight up. If you Google the Spotify logo now, it's to the side. I feel like I'm breaking ones to you right now that you have it. This is like where you come for the newest of the new. A fan told me about Spotify. I don't remember who. There's so many people. It's Ed McMahon. I remember it as the first one. McMahon. Yes, the oatmeal guy was like Chef Boyardee, Johan. That's right. That is right. Yeah, the Spotify one is new. The Energizer logo is new. Let me see. Let me see something here. See if I can bring. Let's see what comes up here. What about Converse? Converse has changed. So many. How did it move? I'm very curious how it moved. You know, the one that still gets me is the 52 states. Like, that is one of the biggest ones for me. It has always gotten me. I talked in my last podcast about the Elise Lam change. That the Elise Lam was this person who disappeared at a hotel in downtown LA. I don't know, it was back in 2012, 2013, something like that. She disappeared. They found her in the water tank on the roof, and the water tank was closed, and now it's being reported that it was open. That's a newer one. The other one is the mutiny on the Bounty guy. Have you heard of this guy? He was like a famous sailor, and he apparently was like a cruel guy, and he is now reported as being. People remember him being nicer, and he's now reported as being crueler. It's like the Mutiny on the Bounty has swapped. If you remember that, that's a new one. The Apple in the Garden of Eden is one that I reported recently. I remember an apple being in the Garden of Eden. Apparently, there was never an apple in the Garden of Eden. That's strange. Black Tom explosion still gets me. Yeah. The Black Tom is definitely a big one that gets a lot of people. That is for sure. I mean, that's one of the bigger ones. And then all the name changes. The Dan Aykroyd one gets me. But you know, Razzle Dazzle is a big one. I think Fruit of the Loom is a big one for me. And there's different people speculate about different causes and what it is. And I feel like that, I've speculated on a lot of things. I've said like misremembering, which some people don't like. I've said parallel universe, multiverse, all that stuff. And I think that, more and more people now are talking about the simulated universe. And it's actually been proven that we are in a simulation. It's like billions to one that we're not. So it's kind of just waiting around for everybody to realize that. Because it's very unlikely that we are the first to create. Like, if I went unconscious today and not waking up, in the future, we're going to be able to upload ourselves into the computer, like a simulated version of ourselves. And these future versions, or these simulated versions of us, if our natural self, biological self dies, is the uploaded version into the computer the real us, if everything's the same, and is the uploaded version of ourselves is that person aware of us? Okay? So if I upload myself in 2040, 2050 into a computer, and the computer version of me speaks, talks, acts, walks, does everything just as I do. If I then am in an accident and I go brain dead or something, is the computer version aware that that happened? No. So how do we know that we aren't the computer version of another entity that created us? Because if you put yourself in a computer, would the computer version, if you didn't program it, know about you? Probably not. So if we're already in a simulation, as they say we are, we're not aware of what created us beforehand. So there's a standing chance that the rest of you or the whole you is outside of what we're in. And maybe that's life. Maybe it's connecting to you. And how this ties back to Mandela Effect is, if I'm just like spitballing here, I don't know about any of this for sure. If Elon talks about how if it's a simulation that nothing, and by the way, the double slit experiment proves this, that this is to be true. Check out the double slit experiment. It's very complicated to explain, but Elon Musk says, if we're in a simulation, nothing is rendered until it's observed. So if you see an iPhone, if I see my iPhone, that iPhone isn't there until I see it. So it's like if a tree, if a tree falls in the forest thing, like if a tree falls in the forest, nobody can hear it, but does the tree fall? According to simulation theory, the tree doesn't fall because the tree doesn't fall until it's observed. So what does that say? That goes by the theory that everything that's happened before in history doesn't exist. That it's not there. That's just, things are just rendered right here. Buddha talked about this, like real time, about being present. That's the whole enlightenment thing, like present in the moment. Because everything happening outside of that is not there. It's only what you're observing in the simulation, as we call it. That's the only thing that renders, according to Elon Musk. So back to Mandela Effect. If we both have a memory of something, that something isn't real. Well, nothing's real in a simulation, apparently, but it's not there. It doesn't exist to us as real until it's observed. So if there's two possible scenarios that people are debating, like, I don't know, there's been so many of these in history, like the Judge Kavanaugh thing. Remember that? Kavanaugh, and she said that he, was aggressive with her, and he said that he wasn't. Both realities existed, according to simulation theory. And until one of those hardens with evidence, both happened. Both happened. So with Mandela Effect, what's happening is things that have not quite hardened within simulation, things that didn't harden because it wasn't rendered, have just slipped a little bit. Like they've just slipped a little bit from the rendering. It makes perfect sense. So if they've proven we're in a simulation, all that's happening is just little things, and we're noticing them. Why are we noticing them? Because before we didn't have internet to pick it up and to be fast communicating like this. But now that we have it, we can trace things better, and so we notice it quicker. So that's one theory as well. That should make people who don't like the misremembering thing happier. Hopefully Moneybags can see that one. He doesn't like misremembering. Okay, so let's see. I have to scroll up here. I've missed all these. I was on that rant. Okay, in the Bible, yeah, Jiffy's one, Dan Aykroyd's one. Okay, the converse. Let's see. Wow, this is Ed McMahon. I remember that way. Yeah, Converse is logo location. Okay, interesting. Yeah, that's the thing about 666, Thomas. It's 616. It's always been apparently. 666 has always been 616 in Arabic. That's be what it is. Black Tom explosion still gets me. It gets me too, Parker. Converse logo not on the right outer shoe now, but on the inside of the left side. That's interesting. I never knew where that one was in the first place, but that's interesting. Dan Aykroyd has a vodka company, Skull Bottles. Huh. Yeah, hey, fixing time. Yeah, his spelling's interesting too. Geoffrey, it has not been proven. In the Bible, the lion shall lie with the lamb. Now says the wolf. Yeah, that's one people talked about. I've heard the Lord's Prayer changed. You're talking about exactly last night. We could all just be evolved AI. Yeah, simulation. Magic is merely technology you don't understand. We are not Sims FFs. Elon Musk pushes sim theory. That's why I don't trust that sim theory has an agenda now. I found an old Bible with an old version of the Lord's Prayer. That's interesting, Kelly. There's an episode of Lassie where someone does get stuck in the well, but it wasn't Timmy, it was a criminal. That's interesting. Lassie was filmed as a Desilu Studios. Huh. Lucille Ball, Desi Arnaz. That's interesting. Wow, all my old ones changed. I believe we're living in a simulation. Yeah, I mean, it's been proven that we are. Well, okay, fixing time. They haven't proven it, but the likelihood is very, very likely. We're living in a procedural generated world. We are Sims like the game. Perhaps a civilization that are millions of years ahead of us has created us as their game TV show. Yeah, that's very possible. I mean, that goes along with what simulation theory says, Thomas. So, yeah, I lost my train of thought there, but they've definitely been changing all over the place. I'm like, there's just little things. Have you guys heard about that black and white TV show? Where a guy named Trump, it's from like the 60s. A guy named Trump came to town in Texas wanting to build a wall. And they all were mad at Trump because they didn't want Trump to build a wall. So they have like a huge, everybody like rallies, like they don't trust this guy Trump because he wants to build a wall around their town in Texas. Like that's just wild. There's a TV episode in the 60s where a guy named Trump comes to town. You can look it up on YouTube. And he wants to build a wall. And they're like, I don't trust that guy. It's fascinating. The Trump video, it's let me see if I can find the link for you guys. I'll put it in the guy named Trump. Like this is wild when you see it. Black and white. Trump build a wall. TV show. Let's see. This is wild. Yeah, this is just crazy. A guy named Trump comes to town wanting to build a wall. Okay, so this is like CBS News reporting it. Yeah, I'll put the link in the. This is wild. Like, talk about like a simulation. Bizarre. It's like the CBS report on it. Yeah, track down. Yeah, maybe I'll start making more videos about the simulation. Have I looked in the Trump book? Yeah, I heard about that Barron Trump thing. I did see that about how Barron Trump was a time traveler. I mean, I don't know. So many of these things, I have no idea. I'm just speculating. But it's interesting nonetheless. I have heard about that Barron Trump one. There's other ones too, though. I was reading recently about somebody was speculating about. Oh yeah, and the Tesla papers were part of the Barron Trump thing. Yeah, and also Trump had an uncle involved in nuclear. which is interesting. Given Generation 4 nuclear would be the future. What was I gonna talk about? I don't remember. But yes, I know what I was gonna talk about. There was somebody speculating about cancer and how the cure to cancer, no problem fixing time. The cure to cancer was going to be it's a genetic issue. That cancer is a genetic. The reason that we can't fix cancer with medically is because it's literally hardwired into the genes, that our genetics, our body thinks cancer is part of us. It is part of us. And they say that when you get cancer, like, we all have cancer in us, it's just off. And what happens is cancer gets turned on. And the reason the body can't fight it is because it thinks that cancer is itself. And so somebody was saying that there could have been like a radiation or a solar flare or something years and years ago where some of our ancestors got radiation from it, which was cancer. And over time, that got phased away from the solar flare, from the radiation, that got phased away. And so it's a gene. It's a gene that we have in us. And it actually there's no right or rhyme or wrong why it gets turned on or off. But when it gets turned on, it's hard to get rid of because the body thinks it's part of the body. It is part of the body. But that it literally, once we figure out that gene and we can figure out, people can already, they're saying, delete genes. So when they can fully identify the cancer gene, which I think we're getting close to, they can just go in and delete the gene. Like, that's going to cure cancer. Like, you heard it here. Like, that is going to, when we can figure out how to delete that gene that the body thinks it's part of us because it turns it on, that's going to cure it for sure. Trump's uncle supposedly cleaned out Tesla's apartment. Yeah, I've heard about the Tesla-Trump connection. It's really fascinating. The storyline of the book has so many things that have happened in our lifetime, and the book was written decades ago. Which book is that? XRP? If you're looking at the Trump book and Story of Barron Trump book, yeah. What's the name of the book? Does anybody know? What's the name of the Barron Trump book? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, once cancer gets cured, which I think inevitably it will, that will be a big thing, Parker, for sure. All right, so I'm going to go a few more minutes here. Let's go 2 or 3 more minutes. If you guys have any more questions, I try to keep them under 40 minutes. We did one that was 50. God, time flies on these things. I like talking to you guys, though. I'm trying to do these more than once a month. I know I always say that. If you like this, please be sure to like it. Please subscribe, you guys. If you're not subscribed, tell your friends to subscribe. We love subscribers around here. I've got 4,700, which is a few, but need more. Apparently it helps. So please like it. Please subscribe. Thank you, whoever just liked it. Very appreciative. You guys are awesome. Hi, Sean. Which Mandela Effect hit you hardest? I'll tell you which hit me hardest. The 52 states is up there. Berenstain Bears, definitely. Fruit of the Loom, definitely. Kate Beckinsdale, huge. I have Beckinsdale, remembering. Dan Aykroyd's pretty big. The spelling. Tweedledum with the propellers is weird. Apparently they always had propellers. I remember them having like helicopter things. That's strange. The oatmeal one's weird. I guess those are some of my big miss. The Ed McMahon's a little weird. Let's see. Jupiter Rising, Ascending. Yeah, that's one. Barron Trump's Marvelous Underground Journey. Okay, thanks, Thomas. I'll check it out. Doctors are now saying that we can regrow our ribs. That's interesting. Thank you for subscribing, those who've subscribed. 51 states. Yeah, I remember 52.
The engines on airplanes, I've heard about that one. The alignment of South America. Yeah, that's one people talked about. For me, the alignment of South America was always more due to the south of North America. Yeah, that was Black Time. Bye, Johan. I'm gonna wrap up here too. The Curly and the Ford is weird. The Volvo logo, Sex and City, yeah, all strange. All right. Thank you guys. It's 40 minutes. We did a good one today. Please like, please subscribe. I'm gonna try to do these more than once a month. You guys want them more than once a month? Are these helpful? I like talking to you in the videos. It's fun. I know my edits go quick, but it's good to see you guys here. They got people who show up. Thanks for watching my videos. Thanks, Sean. You think I hope so. I think I've been growing at a steady rate. Try to keep growing. But anyway, yeah, ET home phone. Heard about that one. Thank you guys. I will see you on the next one. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing, telling your friends. And I'm going to try to keep growing this. I'm going to create some other types of videos too as we go along. I will check out Bruce Lipton. That's interesting. I will check out Bruce Lipton. Huh. All right. I'll try to keep some more videos coming for you guys. And I'll try to get some other topics too. So we do a lot of Mandela Effects. So thank you. I'll do some more. You guys are great. And I will talk to you on the next one. Thank you. Later.